Hey everyone, hello, welcome to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Okay, so I am almost done with these, like not literally, but uh, kind of have prepared. So I'll be moving forward to system design. What does this has to offer? I've never done this. Oh, is it a video? Okay. Are all these articles free? That's nice, I think, but these videos are not that helpful. Not sure, I've not watched it, so I have not done this one. If anyone has done, probably let me know in comment. This seems to be a very nice article. This is by who? Oh, no. Cool, let's solve some problems and then we'll jump to this one later. If anyone is not aware of this, this discuss section is a gold mine. If anyone is new to this, this has a lot of good stuff. So always go through this if you are kind of preparing. Might be very known to a lot of people, but there are still like I was amazed when I talked to a couple of people outside my workspace that they didn't know about this discuss section that LeetCode has. So it's not just problem solving, but also this, which is really helpful sometimes. I'll wait for a couple of minutes before I get started. Okay, let's get started. Mhm. Backtracking and ad hoc problems. This will be probably backtracking and ad hoc. Cancel. But let's. So in backtracking, generally we have to try all the combinations. So that is the idea behind the pattern behind it. Not looking at the chat for another 10-15 minutes now. So given an integer nums, return all the possible subsets. The solution must not contain duplicate subsets. So makes sense. So to avoid duplicate, first of all, I can just sort it. So if 1, 1, 2, 3, then 1 is one of the element, empty is always there. Then you can take this one. In the next, you can take this one, or you can not take this, right? So and then you can take this two. Then that is this is worst. One length, two length, and then one is another. One two in another. So every time whatever you have in your list that goes to your subsets list, right? So this is a subset, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to add this to a new array list, right? Now for the next time you can start from int j is equal to I, j less than nums dot length, j plus plus, and put this inside this subset dot add j. So this means that we have added one, and then we backtrack nums. Now here is the thing, right? So for this j, which would be your next element? Would it be I plus 1 or would it be j, right? So if you can come back, so let's take an example of 1, 2, 3 only, right? So first our I is 0, then we added this in the next time. If let's say we say that it will be j plus 1, so that will be 1, right? So then you'll be starting from 1, you'll add that. Then I'll say it will be 2. So you'll add 3 into this, right? So 1, 2, 3 will be added. Then after that, so you are at j is equal to 2, right? Then you are at j is equal to 1. So in this you'll add 1, 3. Yeah, so it will be j plus 1. I think so. Let's see. Subset. And now if it is same, right? Let's see. Oh, So all the elements are not duplicated, right? That's why we don't need to sort it basically. Hey, hi Pratyush. Feel free to ask your question. Sorry, I was solving the question, right? So I generally don't look at the chat. Please go ahead. That's why, that's one of the reason I am right doing it on live. Hello, handler. Thanks for the comment. I'm moving to the next question. Mhm. Election, how do I start lead code now? So, okay, let me explain that one. So first of all, right, what you should do is you need to know a programming language, right? So you learn a programming language first. First you learn a programming language. Now, if you ask me which one, right, then Java, C++ or Python. In that preference, I'll give this preference. Like if you want to, if you don't have any favoritism along any of these three, you pick Java or C++. These both are same kind of, right? And then if you don't want these two, then you can pick Python. Once you've learned this, then you straight away, then the second thing that you should do is learn data structures and algorithms in that particular language. Like if you talk about Java, you should know about hash maps, stack, queue, all of these things, right? Just learn that syntax and go through one or two videos of it. Now, once you have done that, then the third thing is that solving coding problems using these data structures, right? This is the part that you need to, that will be asked in interviews. So, for example, we are now solving this problem, right? This is one of the algorithms. So backtracking is one of the algorithm that this problem is based on. So once you have good DSA and some syntax and all that things you know, probably spend 1 or 2 day. I have learned DSA from C++, yes, yes. So then stick to C++ and then start coding in that. Start solving these problems. You select C++ and then start solving the problem in C++, right? Mostly when you start, you will not be able to solve straight away, right? But that's okay. That happens with everyone. Don't give up. So don't do that. Don't give up. And then still work hard towards it. If you're not able to watch, like not able to solve, go to this editorial session. So this is like now logged, but earlier it used to be free, but that's also okay. So you go to this solutions thing here and then see this. So filter this by top vote. I don't have to tell, these are like minimal things, right? And then you see this general approach to backtracking questions, right? So walk through this, learn this, watch a YouTube video if you're still not able to do, right? Slowly, gradually, after 3 to 4 months of consistency, you'll see that you are able to solve couple of problems, right? And then do it over time and time. So eventually you will be able to succeed in this, right? That's how everyone starts, right? So that's plain and simple. Give it your time. And if you need any specific advice, feel free to give a short intro in the chat, like where you are at in your life stage, like in college, whether working in some company or whether in school, right? Then I'll be able to give more specific advice as well. You're most welcome. That's why I'm here. Otherwise, I would be just solving problems, right? Happy to help and in any way. All the best for your career. Okay, I'll not be looking at the chat now for 10 to 20 minutes until I solve this one. So you are given an array and target. Return a list of unique combinations where the chosen number sums to the target. You may return the combinations in any order. The same number may be chosen any number of times, right? So one hint that gives it is a backtracking is this, right? Now we can choose any number multiple times. So that means that you can come back to that number also. So for example, I picked this 7, but the order doesn't matter here. So you can just pick this 2 twice and then move to the next element, right? Like 2 to 3 is same, so I don't need to come back in this one also. So uh, public void backtrack int nums int target and int sum first int I. Do I need to reduce target? The target is 0, then that means all the elements are greater than. Okay, let's create list integer combination. So if target is equal to 0, list dot add new array list combination might be like where target is already 0, right? Otherwise, int j is equal to I, j less than nums dot length j plus plus. So you can add this to target, right? Mm, how can we do that? So first of all, we add like saying that com dot add j or j nums of j. So here what I did is so 2, 3, 6, 7 target is equal to 7, 0, 1, 2, 3. You do this, pick this 2, and then you can pick that 2 again, right? So basically backtrack nums target, pick this again, j, and then com dot remove com dot size -1. If I do a dry run, how it is going to look like? You picked 2, then you came back, you again picked 2, need to reduce target. If the target is less than 0, then you just return, can't do anything, right? So you'll pick 2 in the next one again. So you have two options, either you pick 2 or you move to the next one, right? Mm. But if I am at this J and I'm picking this, so I'm reducing the target, right? Then in the next turn you'll not be picking this. Makes sense? Yeah, I think this should work. So candidate target, and let me put it in the chat. Local chat 0 new list. Return list. The good thing with backtracking is that if it works for a couple of test cases, it generally works. Next problem. Give Given a collection and find all the unique each number. So this is exactly the same problem. The only difference should be just this one we solved this while back, right? So the only difference there should be is that you need to do I plus 1, j plus 1 here. But still, we'll give it a try. It should not contain duplicate dot sort target. I think this one. Or if another way would be that we put them all of them in a hash set. Yeah, I think that would be the another way. We use a hash set. If two numbers are same, like for example, then we don't want that as a starting point, right? So if j is greater than I and nums of j is equal to nums of j minus 1, then you just continue. In permutations, we can go back as well. Because we can pick 3 and then we can pick 2. But do I really need? So, if it already did it, right? Hey Netronics, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the subscription. Hey, hi Ashish, you can go and ask the question. You don't have to. Uh, Let me pin this. I think I forgot to pin this one. Everyone, please feel. Ashish, you can go and ask your question. So whenever I am done for solving the problem, I always look at the chat. I also look in between also, but after solving, I definitely look. Given an integer array that may contains duplicates, return all the possible subsets. Uh, must not contain duplicate. Yeah, eventually they will also project I worked so in. Hmm. Couple of things, right? So if you don't have experience in Java Spring Boot, then you might want to try applying to other openings, or you can apply and still say in the interview that you are a quick learner or stuff like that. And if your DSA is solid, they might pass it over, right? They might say that okay. But first thing first, you should have your DSA. So if you have 3 years of experience, that means that you would be applying for SD2, right? SD2 roles, or depending on the compensation also, some companies might offer you SD1, right? Still. So you might be applying for SD2 or upper bar of SD1, right? So these two, upper bar of SD1. Now, what they are going to ask is first it is going to be DSA, then LLD, then HLD, right? Like I have created a detailed video also, but as you have asked me a detailed question, so I don't want to just say that watch that video. But after once I answer this right, feel free to watch that also. But so this should be solid. This is completely in your hand, right? You go to LeetCode, you practice 150 problems, and then you get solid in that, right? So that any problem that comes your way, you are able to crack it. So make sure that you nail this round, probably 10 out of 10. And it is very easy to nail this round. Easy by I mean it is in your control, right? So in most of the companies like in Flipkart and all, right, I was able to completely solve this. In all the companies I was able to completely solve this one and with ample amount of time left because I've practiced DSA a lot. So this is completely in your control. Now let's say once you have done this, then comes the LLD, right? In LLD you will be again asked to code that part out, right? So this will be like a standard problem. So now I'm solving DSA, but once I'm done with this, I'm going to have fun around LLD also, then HLD, right? So in LLD, it might be like design some XYZ thing. Now it depends on you which language you want to pick it up. You want to do it in C++, Java, or you want to do it in Python, right? I do it in Java because this is heavily object-oriented programming language, and in LLD that is important, like design patterns and whatnot, right? These are important. So now you said that they are Spring Boot, right? Then that is like a specific job role that you are applying to, probably Spring Boot. Like Walmart asked that question, right? But you can say that you have no experience in Spring Boot, but you know Java. If you know Java, right? If you don't know Java, then you can straight away say that I don't have experience in that. So you might be working, which language you are currently working in, that you should say, right? I was working in Golang, so I used to say that. And then HLD is plain again. You read some books, Alex, you book. So that book you read, uh, then answer that, right? So it would be so as you are in service-based company as of now, right? So you have a lot of options on where to apply. For example, you can apply to mostly all the companies out there which are not service-based, right? So that is like a very wide horizon, right? So how to get opportunities might be a challenge, but for that you can take a look at my another video. It's like it goes by the name. I can share the link of that. So Naukri is these days very good to get calls, and also compensation wise, if you are being asked like what is your expectation, you can probably say that no particular expectations as such as you are looking for good work and whatnot, right? So that would be my guidance to you. Don't just go for money, like go for good experience. So That is something I can say that you should do. And give more interviews, right? DSA is completely in your hand. Try to clear that round. And if you're already able to clear DSA, then you just need to work on LLD and HLD. And not everyone is going to ask you Spring Boot Java questions, right? It might be just one of the opening that. So don't judge the whole system by that only. The month is a month. See, I am sorry, I've been doing it from 4 years. I'll say that I am good, but I am not still not best. So months I won't say. So I can give you another metric that you can judge yourself on. So there are lead code contests, right? So there might be one going on. So when you have like close to 700 rating, 17, so not 700, my bad. So if you have around 1750, right? 1750, I would say that you are good. This kind of rating, this means that you are able to solve 2 to 3 problems of contests, right? But with no cheating, all yourself, right? You don't cheat. If you want to cheat, you can just solve. You can get to 2000 in 1 month. But without cheating, if you can hit this mark 1750, then that means you are good. So now it's up to you how many months you take, right? If you don't know anything, you are starting from scratch, learning language and whatnot. So I would say that, and you have college or you have company also, then it would minimum take 6 months, I think so, right? That's up to me. That's what I think, but you can maybe do it bit early, 3 months maybe. But yeah, that would be a good metric for yourself to see where you stand, right? Every week there are lead code contests happening, so participate in that. But I would say that roughly give yourself 6 months so you'll know, and then compare it with where you were and then where you are at now, right? So that's what I think. No worries, bro. That's why I'm here. Happy to help. Let me know if you have any other questions, right? All the best for your prep. And also, one more thing, just I'll say, right? So, down the line, if you're consistent, right, and you keep applying, keep solving, probably 1 year or 2 years down the line, you'll still remember your this conversation with me. And then you'll also think that, okay, you never gave up, right? So, that sort of thing is important. Um, Try to control things, those are in your hand, which is like DSA, which is like preparation, which is like applying, right? Rejection and all that is not in your control. So don't worry too much about that. Just focus on what you can control and don't give up, right? And also, this software engineering career is big, right? People work for 30 years. Uh, 3, 4 years, it doesn't really matter. So if you're like 10, 15 years you have given and you have not done anything, then that's probably a uh, thing to think about. But 3, 4 years, I don't think it matters that much. If you want to work eventually for 30 years, right? So I'll just sort it and then duplicates we don't want, right? So I think sorting would help here. Arrays dot sort nums. So once we have added this, we'll do the same thing. Cool guys. We'll jump to design now. It's been enough days that we have done. We have been doing DSA from quite some days now. So we'll start looking at design now. So Excel system design basics. This is not me. I'm not going to teach anything, right? This is just be like revising concepts and whatnot. If anyone has any questions, because I have given plenty of system design round, right? So if anyone has any questions around that, I am happy to help. And then we can discuss some problems although down the line. So that is how we will be tackling. So if someone is generally I have close to 4 years of experience, so I am around mid-level bar here. So if someone watching is 10 years or 15 years, they are definitely more mature than me. This is like just one way of doing things, right? So, system design in particular and system design interviews are two different things. So, generally, there are a lot of ways to answer this. Primarily, the way that I follow is little bit different. So, let's see what all. So, it always starts with like requirements, like any system, right? They might have given us uh, design. So requirements, right? So they might have let's say the problem given to us is let's pick an interesting problem. Uh, so I have so my source of information would be like let's use system design books and YouTube videos, practical experience and practical experience and practical interview experience also. And then what else? What else I did? Like Udemy courses. What else I did? There's a channel called Code Karle. He is also pretty good. I think he is also at Facebook. So that is also one of my source of knowledge and all. What else I read? And then GitHub repos. Uh, Couple of good things are around there also. So I've read a lot of things. So all the information that I'll be Sultan Ali, please use good mic. Otherwise, is it very low because I'm speaking low? Let me know, Sultan, if you can hear me now. I am now here speaking because there were no one in the room, right? So I started talking to myself. So if you are able to hear me now very well, that means that mic is good. And I think the mic is good. But let me know if you can hear me now properly. That meant that I was just not speaking. I thought that no one is watching, so I started talking to myself. Let me know if you can hear me now properly. Okay, you can hear me, right? Sorry, my bad. Okay. So all of my design knowledge, what I was saying is right. So I have done in the past year only I was giving interviews. So I did a lot of things, right, which you should not do. You should start with this Alex Hughes book. That's the first thing, and then YouTube videos also you don't need, right? So I've watched Gaurav Sen, he is pretty good. Then I have watched some other videos also. They are also good. Heller interviews also good. All the people out there, right? Most of them are good, right? That's why they are well known. So, but I have never, I did not know that. So I was just like blindly going here and there. But if someone should ask me that how would I restart again, then I would just go with first of Alex Hughes Volume 1, right? Volume 2 is like very deep, I would say. Don't go with Volume 2. That like if you want to learn personally, that is good enough. But don't go with Volume 2. So that's that. So generally in system design, it starts with requirements. So there could be like two types of requirements are there, functional requirements and then non-functional requirements. Functional are mostly like what is the functionality of the system, right? So if we talk about let's talk about a system. Which system we should pick up? Twitter is a good one to pick to start with. Do I have my notes on Twitter? Let me just look at it. Mhm. And also there is Groking also. So I read that book also. Groking system design. What I read. All this. What have I read? So I read all of these Groking system design. And they all have different ways of designing, right? Not everyone has the same design. Everyone, but like the gist is same, and you are not going to be doing the same thing. Like you are not going to use the same uh, format as well, right? So, okay, let's talk about now designing. Do we have? I don't want to start with URL shortener. That's why just finding for a good start problem. Mhm. Let me see. Thing is not there. Okay, cool. So let's do paste bin, right? Design paste bin. Paste bin is an application like where you can go and paste your content and share it with people like instead of URL. Uh, it's more of a copy paste tool, right? So I can say hello everyone and then share it. Where is the share link? Syntax highlighting. Do I need to log in? Never use. Yeah, I think I need to do create new paste or doing lot of things. Paste bin. Okay. Yeah, I think they have put some login or something, but yeah, that's the gist. So basically in paste bin you can paste your content. One can paste content and share it with others. And I think it's just a text content. So yes, you are right, Chess. I think I said the similar thing in one of the stream. Java is the best language for LLD because if you read the design patterns right, it feels like the design patterns are designed in Java. I gave the example of class, right? So we call it a class diagram, and classes is the same thing that's called in Java also, right? Class, class, animal class. But is it called class in Golang also? No, it's called struct in, right? So it's not a struct diagram. Might be some other logic behind it. I'm not saying that's the logic, but yes, you're right. It feels like that. Any free platform to practice mocks for LLD. There was one site, but I never used anything to practice mocks. I don't think so. There is any site to practice mock for LLD because LLD I feel is very open-ended. There is like no perfect solution for LLD. Some will follow MVC architecture in Spring Boot because they will have experience in Spring Boot. Some who don't have experience in Java, they will just use plain class and all, right? So it is not possible to judge whether your solution is right or wrong in LLD. So, but like you should have some classes. So, no, I'm not aware of. There was one site which I don't remember, but that was not to practice mocks, that was just to write your code. Let me search LLD practice. LLD. I think the guy doesn't have a very good SEO. Like that website has been designed. It's very. Is it Code Leo? Code Leo, I think. Codilio or it's something familiar to Codilio or something like this. Codilio or uh, not sure. Once I get the name, I'll probably share in another stream or so. Yeah. So now to answer this, right? So this is so generally system design rounds are very also open-ended, right? So something that I always do is I'll probably create a separate video for all this, like a more helpful to people one. But generally what happens in system designs is, right, so you have functional requirement, you have non-functional requirement, and then you have capacity estimation, right, and then you have HLD. Like this is the basic design, right, basic HLD. So let's call it basic HLD only. And then after that there could be API. Now this could be switched, right? These are just topics, not in particular order. That's why they don't have a number. Database schema, and then might be deep dive of your HLD, deep dive HLD, and then there would be like scaling techniques, or you can call it like so I had created a short form while for that, but mostly things are like you could do partitioning, security, uh, scaling. Uh, there is a term where you want to kind of just give me 1 second, right? I'll think of it. I might have saved it somewhere. Mhm. Yeah, purging. Purging. Like generally, this is also something that you might want to talk about. Basically, getting all the data. So if let's say you are designing some sort of a bank or something, right? Generally, we could only see 1 year old transcript, and then if you want to see the more old data, like 10-year old stuff, then that's like you have to wait for some time, like 3 months or so, right? Not 3 months, 3 hours or so. So that's because they might have purged the data to another database and then it's not in their primary database, right? More of like a archival thing. That's what purging is. Hmm. There might be more thing also, but yeah, as this is not a dedicated video, right? Just a chit chat. So if someone knows more thing, they can put it in a comment. Oh, you are not disturbing me, Ashish. If I would have been disturbed, then why would I have been live, right? I could have just kept silence. Yeah, then it is a tricky problem, like because you have no development experience. So then what I would say is that don't apply to that role, right? Because you are not suitable for that. You can apply to journal openings or you can start with SD1. So because you are not doing core development, right? Like do you are you a support engineer or are you a software engineer as of now? It depends on what you are, right? If you are a support engineer, then switching to software engineer might be tough. But what you can do is you can switch to entry level software engineers, right? Saying that you want to make that career choice and want to switch that. So Spring Java questions, I don't think you should be able to answer it without having any practical experience, right? So lead code 150 you have to do, right? Software engineer, but mostly here Node have. Okay, you are soft, but yeah, then you can try to switch to some other software engineer. Don't go with Java only, right? Not every company uses Java. And also don't go with Java Spring Boot only, right? Like in Walmart, it's Java Spring Boot, I think. But if you have, If you have like a strong Java background, right, then you can say that I'll quickly grasp Spring Boot. So that is something that I would suggest. So paste bin, yeah, I'll have to drop off now. I'll continue the stream tomorrow from here. Like we'll do system design first. Hmm. Cool guys. It was nice chatting to you, Ashish, and everyone else. Have a nice day. Bye.